History. Chapter 1. A Period of Transition. Part 4. Imperialism and its Impact. Welcome to the final part of our chapter, students. We've seen how the Renaissance changed thinking, the Reformation transformed religion, geographical discoveries opened new worlds, and the Industrial Revolution changed economies. Now we'll learn about imperialism. How industrialized European nations conquered and ruled much of Asia and Africa, including India. What is imperialism? Imperialism is the practice of establishing one country's rule and dominance over the economic and political life of another country. It's different from just trading with another country. In imperialism, the powerful country actually controls the weaker country's government, economy, and resources. The colonized country loses its independence and sovereignty. During the 19th and early 20th centuries, European countries Britain, France, Germany, Belgium, Netherlands, Portugal, Spain, and Italy competed to acquire colonies around the world. Britain became the largest imperial power, ruling India, Burma, Ceylon, Sri Lanka, parts of Africa, Australia, New Zealand, Canada, and many other territories. It was said that the sun never sets on the British Empire because British territories stretched around the globe. Factors leading to imperialism. What drove European nations to conquer distant lands? Several factors worked together to create imperialism. First, surplus production from the Industrial Revolution created a problem. Factories were producing more goods than Europeans could buy. Capitalists needed new markets to sell these surplus goods profitably. They pressured their governments to capture colonies in Asia and Africa where they could sell their products without competition. Second, industries needed huge quantities of raw materials. European countries lacked many resources needed for their factories: cotton, jute, rubber, minerals, tea, coffee, and spices. Colonies provided these raw materials cheaply. India, for example, supplied cotton, jute, indigo, tea, and spices to British factories. Third, development of modern transportation and communication made imperialism possible. Steamships could reach distant lands quickly. Railways could penetrate deep into colonies. Telegraphs enabled instant communication between colonial governments and European capitals. These technologies allowed Europeans to conquer, control, and exploit distant territories effectively. Fourth, population pressure in Europe created a need for new settlement areas. Europe's population was growing rapidly. Unemployed people needed somewhere to go. Colonies provided opportunities for Europeans to settle, farm, and start businesses. Fifth, the rise of industrial capitalism meant surplus capital needed profitable investment. Wealthy industrialists, bankers, and owners of shipping companies looked for new opportunities to invest and earn more. Colonies offered these opportunities, building railways, establishing plantations, starting mining operations, and setting up trading companies. Sixth, ardent nationalism played a role. Countries competed with each other for power and prestige. Acquiring colonies added to a nation's glory and international standing. There was intense national pride and rivalry among European powers. This chauvinistic nationalism drove countries to grab as many colonies as possible before their rivals did. Seventh, Christian missionaries wanted to spread Christianity in Asia and Africa. They established missions, schools, and hospitals in colonies. While they did some good work in education and healthcare, they also served imperial interests by making colonized people more accepting of European rule. Finally, Europeans used the pretense of a divine task to justify imperialism. They claimed it was their moral duty, the white man's burden, to spread advanced European civilization to backward areas of Asia and Africa. They portrayed imperialism as a civilizing mission, teaching colonized people proper customs and manners. This was, of course, a racist justification for exploitation and conquest. Impact of imperialism on South Asia. Imperialism had devastating effects on South Asian countries. Let's examine these impacts carefully. India, Ceylon, Sri Lanka, and Burma became British colonies. The British East India Company came to India as traders in the early 1600s but gradually became rulers through conquest and political manipulation. By the mid-19th century, Britain directly ruled most of India. China, though never fully colonized, was divided into spheres of influence by European powers and Japan. Different regions were controlled by different foreign nations who extracted resources and trading privileges. Politically, imperialism meant complete loss of sovereignty. Colonized countries couldn't make their own decisions. European rulers governed them, made their laws, and controlled their armies. Local rulers either lost power completely or became powerless puppets. Economically, colonies became sources of cheap raw materials and captive markets for finished goods. Traditional industries were destroyed. Indian textile industries, for example, once famous worldwide, were ruined because Britain wanted to sell machine-made British textiles in India. Economic policies were designed to benefit the colonial power, not the colony. Wealth flowed from colonies to Europe. Socially and culturally, imperialism created feelings of inferiority among colonized peoples. European education systems taught that European culture was superior. Traditional customs were often discouraged or banned. English became the language of administration and education, making natives feel their own languages were inferior. However, imperialism had some positive effects too, though these were unintentional. Modern infrastructure developed. Railways, roads, telegraph systems, ports, and irrigation canals. Western education introduced new ideas about democracy, equality, and human rights. Ironically, these ideas inspired colonized people to fight for their own freedom. Imperialism also created national unity. Before colonialism, India was divided into many kingdoms and princely states. Under British rule, people from different regions united to fight against the common colonial enemy. Nationalism grew strong as people fought to free their countries. This was evident in India's independence movement and Vietnam's struggle against French colonial rule. Global consequences. Imperialism had worldwide consequences. Colonial rivalries and competition for territories created tensions among European powers. These tensions eventually exploded into the First World War, 1914 to 1918, and contributed to the Second World War, 1939 to 1945. Millions died in these conflicts. Why did South Asian countries become colonies? Several factors made South Asian countries vulnerable to European imperialism. These countries had huge populations but were economically and technologically backward compared to industrialized Europe. They couldn't match European military power, guns, cannons, and modern armies. South Asian countries had valuable raw materials and vast markets that attracted European interest. Political disunity was another major factor. India, for example, was divided into many kingdoms that often fought each other. Europeans exploited these divisions, playing one ruler against another. The glory of nationalism hadn't yet taken root. People identified with their local kingdoms, religions, or communities, not with a larger nation. This lack of unity made it easier for Europeans to conquer and rule. Conclusion. The transition from medieval to modern age was marked by revolutionary changes. The Renaissance awakened human thinking, the Reformation challenged religious authority, geographical discoveries opened new worlds, the Industrial Revolution transformed economies, and imperialism reshaped global politics. These interconnected developments created the modern world we live in today. Understanding this transition helps us comprehend how our contemporary world came to be, with all its opportunities, challenges, and inequalities. Thank you for learning about this fascinating period.